Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? One of the media products I produced was the film poster that would advertise Infected as part of a cross-media package with the website and the trailer. As a starting point for my poster, I conducted research into my target audience through the use of online questionnaires, focus groups, and forum research. From this research, I found out that the target demographic I would be trying to appeal to was mainly a male audience between the ages of 11 and 30 who prefer to watch horror films. Before I produced my film poster, I researched into existing posters from films of the same genre so that I could find out the codes and conventions that I would need to use to make my poster look professional and like an actual film poster. I looked at the layout of film posters and picked up that they all include a unique selling point, for example, actors' names or a famous director, the title in the largest font, a tagline, and a billing block at the bottom of the page in steel tongues. I implemented all of these elements into my poster so that it conformed to the conventions that had been set. In my research, I noticed that American horror films tend to use the actors' names at the top of the page as the USP, whereas the 28 Days Later, a British film, had the director's name at the top. Since the film I was producing would be American, I decided that it would be better if I put the actors' names at the top. For the title of the film, I used the font 1 because of the worn look it had, similar to the font that was used on the 28 Days Later poster. I then duplicated the layer and added blur to add a glow to the title and make it look a bit more bespoke. From looking at the posters of 28 Days Later and Dawn of the Dead, I discovered that red, black and white were colours commonly used in zombie horror films, as they connote the themes of evil, death, violence and hope, which all feature throughout zombie horror films. I also used a shot similar to the Carrier's poster with a dark image of one of the first antagonists, Patient Zero of the infection. This image acts as a hair code because it makes the audience question why there is blood on the wall behind the focus of the picture and what exactly is the character in the image doing. Are they screaming in pain or anger, or because they are one of the infected? I decided to implement all of these conventions into my film poster so that the poster was more appealing to the target demographic, and so that they could pick out that it was a horror movie poster. When I was looking at the posters, I noticed that Coming Soon or something similar wasn't really featured on the poster, in the exception of the Carrier's poster. So rather than having that feature at the bottom of my poster, I put the web address instead, which would hopefully promote the website to the audience and ensure that they access the website to find out more information about the film. It was at this point that I decided the institution I would use for the film. After researching into American-based film companies, I came to the conclusion that Twisted Pictures would be the best choice for my zombie horror film, as they are already well established in the horror genre, but they have not yet produced a horror film of the zombie variety. The second part of my cross-media package that I designed was the website, which would allow the user to get more information on the film Infected. So that I could get an insight onto how I should design my website, I conducted research on existing websites for horror films of a similar genre. The first thing that I noticed was that the websites featured entry pages, usually with an iconic image related to the film, such as the painting used on the Dawn of the Dead poster, which was also featured on the entry page. Following this convention, I added an entry page to the website with a full image from the poster rather than the cropped down one. This way, the audience will relate the poster to the website and the image will stick in their mind. I also featured the tagline on the entry page as a link to the main site so that the audience is more than encouraged to read the tagline, which should in theory make the tagline stick in their mind like a catchy advert, therefore reminding them of the film. As well as the tagline, I put the rating of the film at the top of the page so that the audience is sure that the website is appropriate for them, so that when they access the site they won't see anything that may be offensive to them. When the user gets onto the website, they are confronted with the title at the top of the page in the same style as was featured on the poster, and the names of the actors above, as that is conventional of American horror movies. When the main site loads up, they can also see the trailer featured in the middle of the screen, with the picture arranged so that it draws attention to the trailer. The trailer is an important part of the website as it creates synergy between the two separate parts of the promotional packages, as does the same title and images being used. The background image is of two of the infected diving on a car bonnet while the main character tries to drive away. I used the same colour editing on this as I used on the poster to make the infected appear more shadowy and mysterious so that they act as a hair code. On the website I added links to external social networking sites such as Twitter, Facebook, MySpace and Tumblr, allowing the audience to share the film with their friends, because if they like the film, their friends will most likely like the film as well, which allows the audience to assist with the advertising of the film and creating a larger fan base. From my research, I found out that 4 pages usually feature on horror film websites, and these are the trailer, the story, gallery, and downloads. I included all of these on my webpage as I felt not only that it was conventional, but there was only a need for those 4 pages, as any more might seem like too much and overwhelming for the audience. Also on the website I included the logo for the main film company behind the production of the film, Twisted Pictures, as websites tend to feature just the main company's logo rather than the full billing block at the bottom of the page.